Hello, this is Natân Rippa from Evolusys, and today in this webinar I'm going to present you some data preparation with Python and Spark in Azure Databricks. So first let me introduce our company Evolusys. We are a Swiss company based near Geneva. Our areas of expertise are modern analytics and cloud solutions. About modern analytics, we are experts in various subjects such as predictive analytics, machine learning, or big data analysis. And for the cloud part, we master subjects such as artificial intelligence, chatbots, and intelligent automation technologies. About myself, I am a consultant in modern analytics, and I mainly work on data visualization and data analysis with tools such as Power BI, Tableau, and SQL Server. So here is the quick summary about this webinar. We will first take a look at the context and objectives, then the scope of the webinar, and finally we will go through a live demonstration in the Azure Databricks environment. So for the context and the objectives, this webinar is made for you if you ever faced the need to recover a huge amount of data from the web, or if you once needed to extract data from a website, but you needed to do some laborious manual steps, or if you have already faced problems while handling very large amount of data, or simply if you want to discover new technologies to get your step in the big data revolution. So this webinar will give you a quick overview on how to deal with such issues with the help of Python and Spark running in the Azure Databricks environment. So from this presentation you will get an overview of some data preparation steps, and to do this we will use open data files on turnstiles information from the Metropolitan Transportation Authority from New York City. Those sample data files consist of text files that contains information about turnstiles from the NYC MTA stations, and we will only use the data from the year 2018. And the goal of this presentation is to perform some data loading and data transformation and cleaning to create a fact table using this data. So for the extraction we will use some web scraping leveraging the power of Spark. For the exploration we will explore the data using Python and SQL. We will also do some transformation, for example add a new surrogate key column and change schema type. And finally we will load these results from the previous steps into a table. So a quick word about the technologies we are going to use. So here you can see how these three technologies are used together. For the language it is Python, which is a general purpose programming language that is more and more widely used across the world. For the engine for the big data it will be Spark, and the environment will be Azure Databricks, which is a Spark accelerator that is online. So let's go through the demo. We will focus mainly on the data preparation steps, and you will see how to extract, transform and load the data into a persistent table that is located in our Azure Databricks environment. So let's switch to the live demo. So first we will have just a quick look at the Blob storage. So in order to do this webinar I had to mount a Blob storage in which we will load the text files. So the text files are such. You can see we have a few columns with one row per per time slot for one specific turnstile. So first of all, we will need to import the different libraries into our notebook. So here I am in Azure Databricks and in a notebook environment that is mainly in Python, and we will see later how we can switch between languages inside the same notebook. So I am using a technique that I have taken from this source. So first we will get a list of the HTML links. As you can see, it is not that legible, so then we will just parallelize it to get a more legible view. We can see that there is 52 text files for the year 2018. So currently there is no data in my blob storage, but as soon as I will run this command, you will see that the blob storage is getting data. So first we will build a data frame, because right now we have a list of text files, but we don't have a master. We will build this master data frame. Here you can see the power of Spark. It has splitted into 4 jobs into the clusters in order to maximize and optimize the performance. When this command is finished, we will cache the results into the cluster in order to access it faster. And we will also do a quick count to know how many rows we got in the main data frame. So here are the first data exploration steps using Python in Azure Databricks. So we've got 10 million rows. Now I will use this command print schema to get an overview of the type of each column. As you can see, we've got integers for the entries and exits. As I used this infer schema, that means that it will try to guess the column types. And we can already see that there is a problem here, because we've got a date column that is of type string. We will get to this after. So another interesting command is the display command, which will give us an overview of our data, and you can switch between a table view and also plot view. Here, for example, we've got the average and exits and entries for each station. And one of the main aspects of using Azure Databricks is that you can switch between multiple programming languages using the magic command of percentage. For example, you can switch between SQL, Scala, R, or Python, and also other additional languages. So here we are going to create a view. First we will need to drop the view if it already exists, and then we will create a temporary view that will be accessible using SQL. You can see it took very short time, and then we can, using this magic command, we can use SQL statement in order to explore our data. So first, as I am going to build a surrogate key using those 2 first columns, I will just check that there is no null null values in these columns. So we got no null values in this C, A, and in this unit column. We also check if we get null values. After finishing these steps, we can go to the data preparation, and we will go back to Python language. So if we take a look at the column header names, we can see that some of these names are not that legible, and doesn't mean much if you are not from the people that developed these text files. So fortunately, we can get a list, a more legible description of each column, and we will include this in our table. So first we rename these columns, then we will lowercase each column name. So we can take a look at how it is right now. As you can see, it has changed the name, and also lowercase each of the column headers. But currently we still have this date column as a string, so we will change it to a date type. So you can see it took less than a second to change 10 million rows. Then we can get this, and you can see it has changed from this format to this format. And finally we will build this surrogate key and take a look at how it looks. And here we are. We have built this surrogate key that will then be used to connect with the dimension table during the further steps of this data analysis. And finally, we will create a table from the data frame, and we will give it a legible name, and it will be saved into the data. So the job finished in about a minute, and it has created a permanent data table in the cluster databases, which can be accessed directly from here. And we can have a quick look at it. As you can see, it is now we have now a table with the correct naming for the headers, and here we can have a sample data overview with also this new surrogate key. So let's go back to the presentation. To conclude this webinar, just a quick overview of what we have done and what can be done with further steps. We have done some data loading using a web scraping technique, also some data exploration using SQL and Python, and data preparation using Python. Most of it has been done using the power of Python and Spark in Databricks. For the next steps, there will be some data modeling, data visualization. It is also possible to add some AI-powered analytics or do some analysis using unstructured data such as images or videos, or doing some sentiment analytics, building a recommender system, and so on. And here at Evolusys, we master all of these topics. If this webinar has awakened your curiosity, then don't wait any longer and visit our website or contact me, and we can show you how to fully exploit the information in your data. Thank you, and bye-bye.